Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome back to another session on average and mixture. So, as you know, this will be the last session for average and mixture foundational classes. So, average and mixture first class was on the basics where we built the foundation, uh, talk about all the concepts, talk about the different formulas, talk about different application areas that can come in an exam and that is relevant for your MBA entrance exams. And then we typically talk about, in the previous session, we talk about the level one problems or the foundational problem that makes your understanding more firm around this area. And this is the third session. So typically, this is the approach we follow. We follow the first session on the fundamentals, second session on the problem level one or conceptual problems that makes your understanding of the foundation more firm. And the third session, which is today for average and mixture, is on the advanced level problems or level two, level three problems. It may not be really hard problems, it may be problems that requires enough conceptual clarity to apply them, to solve them. So like every time, what we'll do today is we will go one problem after the other, but I suggest if you see the problem, pause the video, try the problem by yourself for 4 minutes or 5 minutes if you want to take. Try to solve it. If you can solve it, come back and see the solution, whether you have solved it right, or if you are not able to solve it, you can still see and come back and see how am I solving the problem. So with this, we can get started. Yeah, I'm at. So the first problem for today, you read the problem. So it says a milkman purchases a milk at rupees 20 per liter and mixes 4 liter in it. By selling the mixture at the rate of 20 liter, he earns a profit of 40%. So okay, go step by step. So I know he had the milk, which is 20 rupees per liter, and he has water of 4 liter. So let's say, so how much milk he had initially, that is not given. So if I consider that he had X liter of milk, so the mixture that the question is asked to find, what's the amount of the mixture, that will be X plus 4, X liter of milk plus 4 liter of water. 4 liter water is given me as fixed. Now it says the cost price. So what should be the cost price? So the cost price will become 20x. 20 is per liter of milk and X liter of milk I am assuming he had. So cost price is 20x. Water does not have any cost price. So total cost price will become 20x. Now what they said, he earns a profit of 40%. So profit of 40%, and profit always gets calculated on cost price. So his total sale price should be 1.4 times of the cost price, or we can say 1.4 time into 20x. So this should be his total sale price. Now he is selling everything at a rupees 20 per liter. How much mixture he has? He has X plus 4. So his sale price is 20 rupees per liter. He has total X plus 4 mixer. So basically he paid for X liter, but mixing water, his solution, his mixer or his available quantity becomes X plus 4. So 20 into X plus 4 should be equal to 1.4 into 20x, right? So with that, let's try to solve for x. So 20x plus 80 equal to 28x, or we can say 8x is equal to 80. We can say x is equal to 10. So 10 liter. It's not exactly a mixture problem, but that's what happens in your CAT or MBA entrance exam. There is very few problem which is exactly applies one concept. But here you have seen, we have understand the mixture, we have understand the profit and loss, and all this understanding has been evaluated. So most of the time you get in Snap, IFT, that whatever NB entrance you take, the problems, if it is not has to be very easy, if it is a mid-level problem, or this is actually a easy problem. If it is not a very straightforward problem, it will always mix concepts that requires knowledge from one or two adjacent areas. So like this, we did mixture and average, mixture and profit and loss concept. So like this, you have to do, and the most problem will be. So, okay, so we got X as 10 liters. So basically he has started with the 10 liter of mixture, but remember one thing critically, 10 is not the answer. So don't make a mistake. No, your answer is 14 because 10 plus 4 liter of water. So from the option, don't select 10 in a hurry. Remember what was asked. Always before marking the answer, just see what was asked and see what you got. So your X is 10 for the mixture. So most of the time what we do, we got a X as a solution and straight away click the answer and move on. But don't do that. Once you get an answer, before circling that option, try to again revisit what was asked, see what you get, and then mark. So that's a small step in between. If you add, you will avoid silly mistakes, because when I was there, I have done quite a few of them. So as soon as I solve for X, I just go ahead and mark the answer that is equal to X, but maybe my answer requires X plus something or X into something. So that change needs to be there. So always revisit before circling the answer, revisit what has been asked and then and mark the answer. So at that small step, you will avoid silly mistakes a lot. Move on to the next problem. The next problem will talks about two tanks, similar volumes are filled with mixture of oil and water. In the first, the ratio of oil and water is 5:8. In the next, the ratio of oil and water is 7:19. If both the tanks are poured into a large tank, what will be the resultant ratio of oil and water? Okay, so basically you have a tank where oil and water, so oil is to water is basically your 5:8, right? And in the next one, your oil is to water is 7:19, right? Both the tanks capacity is same. Both the tanks capacity is to same. So if I just take for oil, oil is 5/13 of the total capacity of this tank. If I take oil for this tank, your oil is how much? 7/26 of total. So basically 7 by 7 plus 19. So that's how we did it. Right. So oil, so these are the two oil capacity. So what is the mixture? We thought we got ratio 1 average. Then we do ratio 2. And then, so, okay, not talking about the ratio. If you remember the mixture, so it's the high value, average, then the lower value, and then the quantity of high, quantity of low. So high value minus average gives you the quantity of low. Low value minus average minus low value gives you the quantity of high. It's the ratio. So if you revisit, if you do, I'm not going into too deep of this. We have discussed in depth in the previous two sessions how this is applied. So in sense of mixture alligation, so we can revisit in case of weighted average also to some extent this applies. But if you go back, see, mixture is nothing but end of the day it's a weighted average concept. So if you go back to the previous sessions, you will be able to understand that in more depth. But this is the formula we will leverage here. So oil somewhere it was 5 by 13 and somewhere it is 7 by 26. So I need to find out the resultant part of the oil in the mixture. So in the first mixture, we have oil as 5 by 13. Then I have to find the average. Let's say the average is X. I have to find out. And this is 7 by 26, right? And I know the capacity of both of them are equal. So then this is 1 is to 1. So remember, this part is just the ratio. It's not the exact quantity. So quantity of high is to quantity of low. So it has to be 1 is to 1 in this case because they said two tanks are of similar volume. So two tanks have the same capacity. So the ratio of their capacity will be 1 is to 1. So 5 by 13 of 1, 7 by 26 of 1. So when I consider the oil's capacity, it has to be like this. So then we can do, so what is X? So can I say this is lower, this is lower. So can I say X minus 7 by 26 divide X is also equal, should be equal to 1. So if I do average minus lower value, average minus lower value, it should give me this. If I do higher value minus average, it should give me this. So both are 1, so I can write both of them are equal. So 5 by 13 minus X. From here, from here I will get, if I take X on the other side, so I'll get 2X is equal to 5 by 13 plus 7 by 26 or 17 by 26. So 17 by 26. So that gives me my X is 17 by 2 will come down 17 by 52. So the oil part is of 17 by 52. So my rest has to be water. So water must be 1 minus 17 by 52. So that is 35 by 52. So your oil is to water is 17 by 52 is to 35 by 52, or in the ratio of 17 is to 35. So this is the answer. So again, we did step by step, we understand even if there are two type of item in the mixture, we take out one item. C1 first item's ratio or proportion in the mixture. You can actually calculate percentage, but since it's a little complex fraction, I will not calculate it. I have not calculated the percentage of oil. So oil is 5 by 13th of the total in the first vessel. Oil is 7 by 26th of the total in the second vessel. So 5 by 13, 7 by 26, and your vessel's ratio capacities are same. So the basis weights are same in the both ratio. So I need to find out the average when the equal amount of vessel 1 mixed with equal amount of vessel 2, what should be the average? So average, I put the X and then just applied the formula to get this. Since both of them are equal to 1, so X minus 7 by 26, so average minus the lower value should be equal to higher value minus the average. So basically the ratio should be same, but here since the both of them are 1, both of them are actually equal. Okay. If you unclear, you need further, have doubt, certain things you not followed, please drop in a comment in the description box or drop a mail ID. Drop an email in the mail ID that I'll put in the description box, and I will be able to respond from there. Let's move to the next problem. They said a vessel is full of mixture of methanol and ethanol, which there are 20 mixture of methanol and ethanol in which there are 20% ethanol. So you had methanol plus ethanol. Ethanol is of 20%. So that means methanol has to be of 80%, right? So 80% methanol, 20% ethanol. 10 liter of mixtures are drawn off and filled with methanol. So 10 liter of mixture has drawn off and filled with methanol. If the ethanol is now 15%, what is the capacity of the vessel? Okay, And let's see. So let's say the capacity of the vessel is X. Okay. Let's say the capacity of the vessel is X. I'm also trying to show you some problems without showing the formula for mixture or diagram for that mixture that we used in the last problem, so that some problem you can, even if you're not able to apply this right away to the problem, you will still be able to solve that problem. So let's say the X liter is the capacity. Okay. After that, you have methanol of 0.8x, ethanol of 0.2x. That's the 20%. 10 liter of mixtures are drawn. So the 10 liter you have taken out, in that 20, again the same concept, whatever be the ratio of ethanol in the overall mixture, in that the same ratio will be there in the 20 liter mix, 10 liter portion that you have taken out. So in 10 liter, there will be 2 liter of ethanol and 8 liter of methanol, right? And the mixture is filled with, so now after 10 liter taken out, your ethanol will become 0.2x minus 2, your methanol will become 0.8x minus 8. Now they said you have filled this drawn off and fill this with methanol. So you have filled it with methanol. So methanol means you have added 10 liter of methanol. That's what I did. If the ethanol now is 15%, if the ethanol now is 15%, what is the capacity of the vessel? So ethanol is now 15%. So see, you have taken 10 liter, you have refilled with again 10 liter. So your total capacity is 0.2x minus 2, right? Divided by the total capacity. Total capacity is now again X. You have taken 10 liter, you have filled 10 liter, may be methanol, but your total capacity is still X. So 0.2x minus 2 is the ethanol capacity. So this is the ethanol capacity at the end, and the total is X. So this should be equal to 15%. This should be equal to 15 by 100. Okay, now we just have to solve the problem to get the value of X. So if I just cross multiply 100 into 0.2, it becomes 20x minus 200 is equal to 15x, or I can say 5x is equal to 200, or x is equal to 40. If you see, x is 40 liter. So the capacity of the vessel is of 40 liter. Again, if you are not clear, please drop me a note in the description box and or drop me an email. We'll be able to solve. Just write the session. Just put the, if you are dropping an email, just add the link of the video. So and mention the problem number and be able to solve it. So that's what. Again, go step by step. Understand what's the total capacity. Understand the methanol ethanol percentage. What happens if you take out 10 liter? Don't compare. Try to do everything together. First, take 10 liter is out. How much of methanol is out? How much of ethanol is out? What is the new new quantity of methanol and ethanol? Then you add 10 liter, which is added, increase that quantity by 10. So now you see again the total quantity back to X, right? Even if you add these two, it will give you X. So the total quantity is back to X. Now they said the ethanol is 15%. So you know the new ethanol quantity, you know the total capacity. So that should be 15%. Equate them, solve them, get the answer. Moving on. It's a good problem. Considering a class of 40 students whose average weight is 40 kg, M new students has joined whose average weight is n kg. Okay. What is the maximum possible average weight of the class? They have given m plus n is something, average maximum possible weight of the class. So if the max possible has to be more than 40, because 40 is already there. So max possible means I'm assuming what's the maximum possible above 40. So if it is above 40, then this is a good problem to revisit your average concept. So what I said, average, so there were 40 students whose average was 40 years. Right? Sorry, average, not age. This is 40 kg average weight. Now, if there are m new students joined with n kg, forget n. Even if a single student join, he and because of that, if the average is increased, that means the student join has to be more than uh, has to have weight that is more than 40. So the average weight of the new students is n, that n has to be more than 40, because otherwise if you already for 40 students, if you have the average weight of 40, if you add one student or if you have 100 students, if the average age is not more than 40, your overall average will never increase, because your overall average is increased because the new average that is more than that has contributed to pull up that average. If the new average, the students that have joined, if their average is not more than 40, then they will not be able to pull up the already existing average. So I know my n has to be more than 40. Now, since I know my m plus n has to be 50, my m I know has to be less than 10. So this is one derivation, this is another derivation. So we got this two. Okay. Now, how much is the total contribution? So each person, so basically, if your average age is 40 for 40 students, so what is your new average, right? So if your new average, how will you calculate the new average? So let's say n is more than 40. So let's say I'll take a simple example. Let's say there is two students with average age of 40. Forget this numbers. There are two students with the average age weight of 40 kg. Now, if you add one more student with a weight of 50 kg, what is the new average? So three people, 90 by 3, right? Sorry, three people, what is the total weight? 40 into 2 plus 50 by 3. So 120 by 170 by 3. So your new average is 56.66 kg. Okay? So this is just a minute. I'm doing it right. No. I'm doing it wrong. Just a minute. So this is 130 by 3, or we can say 43.33 kg. So I can see my average age is increased because there is a new person with 50 kg has joined. If the new person has joined with 50 kg, he has pulled up the entire group average by 3.33. How? Because he has 10 kg extra. And this 10 kg extra is divided between three people in the group now. So his first 40 kg, this person who has joined new, his first 40, his first 40 kg must have gone to maintain the same average, and the rest 10 kg has been distributed equally to all of the three to pull up the average by that much. That's the same logic. First 40 kg, you give it to that, give to the community. So when two people are there, third people is coming, first 40 kg of yours you give to the community to maintain the same average. But you have more 10 more. So you will distribute the 10 more among each person in the community. By community, I mean there are three people. You divide that extra 10 to each of the three people so that everyone's value is increased by 3.33 and makes the total average 43.33. So the idea is, even if n is more than 40, coming back to this problem, n is more than 40, till 40, n no one will be able to contribute to increasing the average. They will, till 40, they have to contribute to maintain the same average. So n minus 40 is what is extra that I am getting from each student. So if n is more than 40, then n minus 40 is the extra weight that I'm getting from each student. Now I have m students of such. So my total extra is m into n minus 40. But my total student is now m plus 40. If my total student is now m plus 40, then this is the expression. This is the expression I need to maximize. So this is my average. So this is my average. So how I got my average? So this is m into n minus 40. N minus 40 is how much you have contributed extra, and then divide by m plus 40. So this much is the increase in the average. So this is the average up. So if your average value is something, increase in average is 2, so the new average maximum possible weight will be 40 plus 2. So this is the expression we need to maximize. You just down for this and get some space. Yeah. So again, so first understand why this expression, again, I'm repeating, it's n minus 40, because first 40 of n is the average weight for everyone that joined new. First 40 kg will go to maintain that average of 40 kg that is already existing. Then n minus 40 is that extra weight that everyone brings in. So for m people, the total extra weight brings in is m into n minus 40. Now that total extra weight should be divided into all of the entire community. Now the community has m plus 40 people. So m plus 40, and this should be the value we should look for maximizing, and this is the increase in average value. So like this, we have distributed that extra 10 to among 3 people. Here the total extra is m into n minus 40. I will distribute to m plus 40 people. Then if I have to maximize this, you can do trial and error, but you can take all m values from 1 to 9 and all m values from 40. You can do trial and error because that's the only way you can maximize this. So, but you see, the maximization will happen for m equal to 45. Sorry, m is less than 5. m equal to 5 and n equal to 45. So this is the place where the maximization happens. So then this expression becomes n equal to 45 means 5, n equal to 5 divided right. So this is the way we can move ahead. Yeah. So if you see, so this is 25 by 45, or we can say 5 by 9, say 0.56 kg. So this much is the maximum possible increase in the average. So maximum possible average, maximum possible weight average will be 40 plus 0.56, 40.56. So that's what we can say. This is the answer, 40.56. You can take with any value, any combination, but you will see at m equal to 5 and n equal to 45, it's basically the maximum. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the next problem. Again, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to me. Okay. So it says the average score of an examination of 10 student is of a class 10 is 60. So can I say the total is 60 into 10, 660 students, 10 students, and average is 60. The score of the top 5 is not considered, the average students fall by 5. So below 5, no. So total for bottom 5 is 55 into 5, that is 275. 55 because average is dropped by 5. So total for top 5 must be 600 minus 275. So there is no assumption as of now. Everything is given to me. I'm just calculating 325. Total for top 5 is 325. Total for bottom 5 is 275. The pass mark is 40. No one got less than 40, and maximum marks is 100. No one got more than 100. If it is known that none of the students failed, so everyone got more than 40, if each of the top 5 scores is maximum possible score of the topper, maximum possible score of the topper. So you need to maximize the topper. So 325, let's say there are 5 people, A, B, C, D, E. These are the 5 marks where E is the maximum. Let's say E is the maximum. So but understand this equation first. So what I'm writing is 325 is equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E. These are the 5 marks of the 5 top people. In order to make E maximum, I have to make A plus B plus C plus D is minimum. In order to make E maximum, I have to make this sum minimum because the total sum is constant. A plus B plus C plus D is minimum. How much? That's what I need to figure out. And they said A plus B plus C plus D cannot, A, B, C, D cannot be same. They are distinct integrals. Okay. So in order to that, what I know, the bottom 5 is 275. Now I know what I need to find out is, see, if I say A less than B less than C less than D less than E. So I have this A value is the least. So this is the least amount of 5. This is the least amount of 5. And let's say, there are 5 folks from the bottom 5 who are, let's say, M less than N less than O less than P less than Q. So this is the bottom 5. Okay. So this guy who is the highest in bottom 5, who is the highest in bottom 5 and A is the lowest in the top 5, A still has to be more than Q, or A has to be more than or equal to Q, because they said it may not be. A, B, C, D has to be different, but A and Q can be same. So A has to be equal to Q. So I have to make, I have to make A minimum. I have to make A minimum. So I have to make Q also minimum. How can I make Q minimum? So there are one way that I can make this 275. See, there are 2 ways. One is 275 is equally distributed among bottom 5, I can say. So then again, for the sorting out, if 275 is equally distributed, then everyone is 5. So all of this is equal to. So all of this is equal to 55. You can say, why I have to give 55 to everyone? I can again see 55 will be the average. If 55 will be the average, then some of the bottom 5 value will be less than 55. Some of the bottom 5 value will be more than 55. Then only the average become 55. Now, if we are talking about the highest among the bottom 5, and if we are not making all of them equal, then the highest value, that Q value, will always be more than 55 if I am giving distinct value to each of the bottom 5. If I give a distinct value to M, N, O, P, Q, your Q, which is the highest, will be more than 55. Because if 55 has to be the average, then there is something behind, something ahead. The highest will always be ahead of 55. So then there is no way I can make Q equal to 55. But if I give 55 equally to all of them, I will make Q equal to 55. And that's what, because I'm trying to minimize Q, I will possibly take this approach that 55 into 5 should be 278. So everyone has to be equal to 55. Right? M, N, O, P, Q. If everyone is 55, Q is, then the Q is minimum because Q is the highest. If they are not equal, then there will be some values out of M, N, O, P, Q, which will be more than 55. And Q being the highest, Q will surely be more than 55. But then I'm not minimizing Q. I have to minimize Q only when I am giving all of these M and OPQ equal and making Q as 55. So Q minimum is 55. So that gives me A minimum is also 55 because A can be greater than equal to Q minimum when it is equal to A minimum is 55. If A minimum is 55, then B minimum 56, C minimum 57, D minimum 58 because the numbers are integral, defined integral. So E is 375, sorry, 325. That's the total of the top 5 minus 55, 56, 57. If you do this, we'll get the answer mostly as 99. Just check it. You will get the answer mostly as 99. 5 plus 56 is 111. 111 plus 57 is 168, and 58 to 19 to 3 to 26. Yeah, E is 99. So then this is the maximum possible marks of the top scorer. So the topper, they said the topper is 99. Okay, so it's a very good problem. Just revisit it. If you have doubt, please feel free to reach out. So the last problem for the day, 100 kg of an alloy, tin and lead in the ratio of 1:3, and X kg of alloy with tin and lead is 3:2. Overall, alloy should contain between 40 to 50% of tin. So they're talking about tin. Okay, tin is 40% minimum value, 50% maximum value in the resultant mixture. What is the range of value X can take? Okay, so range of X means there will be a minimum value of X, there will be a maximum value of X. The minimum value of X will, when the tin percentage is 40%, maximum is when the tin content is 50%. So in the first mixture, in the mixture 1, your tin is 1:3 ratio, so tin is 25%, because 1:3 means the tin is 1/4 of the total, so that's 25%. In the mix 2, your tin is in the ratio of 3:5 or 60%. 3/5 of the total is tin in the second ratio, so tin is 60%. Mixture 1 has been used for 100 kg and mixture 2 has been used for X kg. So if I form this, my average will be 40 in one scenario, 50 in the other scenario. If I consider 40 to get the minimum value of X, I consider 50 as the average to get the minimum value of Y. So again, just writing this 25, 40, this is 60, 25% of tin mixed with 60% of tin gets a 50%, 40% average in the resultant mixture. So 25, it's 100. This is X. So you calculate for X. So how will you calculate for X? We know 40 minus 25 divided by 60 minus 40. So 40 minus 25 ideally give me X. 60 minus 40 ideally give me 100. Right? So this is one way. So let's see what I get from here. See what I get from here. So 40 minus 15 is 15 by 20. It's X by 100. So 5. So I can say X is 75. So this is 1. Okay. The next one we can get is 25. Maximum is 50. So 60. This will be 100. This will be X. Again, 60 minus 50 by 50 minus 25. 60 minus 50 should give me 100. 50 minus 25 should give me X. So this is 10X is equal to 2500. This is 100, 2500. So X is 250. So X lies between 75 to 250. So your answer is 75 less than equal to X to 250. This is your answer. Yeah. So again, don't get overwhelmed by the inequality by the range, by the word of it. Just stick to the basics, solve the problem, go step by step, unblock one step at a time, and you will be able to solve this. So hope this is clear and the session was helpful. Um, in the next session, we'll go into another topic, but anything around average mixture allegation we did in the last three sessions, please feel free to reach out. If you need more one-on-one session with me on this, feel free to reach out. We can take it from there. Or if you have doubt in any particular problem, drop a comment or drop a mail ID in the give drop a mail in the mail ID given in the description box. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next session. Bye.